What's up, YouTube? Man, y'all already know what's up with me. Man, I had to make this joint. Super duper proud of my boys. Man, I wish we could have gone further, you know what I'm saying? But what they did already though, man, they exceeded expectations. They did their big one, you hear me? I had a lot to say in the beginning of the season when my boys drafted JD5. And I'm standing on that. I stood on that, you know what I'm saying? I'm so glad that happened. But now, since our season over with, it's time to recap the whole thing. I want to tell y'all a little about this season, you know what I'm saying, from my perspective. All right, let's get to it. So if you're new to this channel, I mean, like, you wouldn't know that in the very beginning of the process, I was 100% on board for the Commanders to get JD5. You know, I did a video on it and all that. I was so, you know what I mean, on what I seen from him at LSU. I really didn't see too much. I really didn't know about him when he was at Arizona State. But when he was at LSU, man, I knew Slim was like that. I mean, he won the Heisman, so you already knew that he was a goods. But the Bears had that #1 pick. Man, I'm telling you, if they would have drafted him, man, I don't know what I would have done, man. But you know, they own a bigger and better things, you know what I'm saying? They got Ben Johnson now as their head coach, you know, offensive-minded guru or whatever. So, you know, hopefully they'll do their thing or whatever. But hey, I mean, we got our guy. But before the season started, I was telling my good B-More man that, like, from what I seen at JD5, like, you know what I mean, he just reminded me of like a Lamar Jr. And hopefully he could be like that, but you gotta get that man, I gotta get that man respect, man. He's in his own lane. I mean, with us having that second pick in the draft and, you know, the second year, new leadership with Magic in the front office, a new head coach, the new owner, new GM, with a whole lot of unsung heroes and new faces like Luvu, Chin, Dante Fowler, Bobby Wagner, and Austin Eckler, to just to name a few. I was ready for the regular season to start, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I knew it was gonna be it might have been kind of iffy, you know what I mean? Week 1, playing Tampa Bay, we was on the road, you know, all these new faces like I mentioned, new quarterback, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. We lost that jump. But I did see the flashes of what this team could do. But remember, this was just supposed to be a rebuild year, you know what I'm saying? But like, I felt that like we had a lot of good things in place. But then came that Monday night game under the lights for the whole world to see, where the legend of Jedi5 was born.
McCaffrey, we've only got 10 guys on the field.
They're down and 7. This one is launched from McLaurin. He's got it! Touchdown!
I mean, after that game, we just started clicking. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was on the same page. 5 started playing lights out. We started putting up crazy numbers and like different area aspect of the game that our fans hadn't seen in a minute. The connection with 5 and 17 was like that. We even seen a pick 6 from Dante Fowler.
Nickel package here for Dan Quinn's squad. 3rd and 9 for Carolina. Dalton on the move. He tried to throw it to his own man. He threw it to the other team. Intercepted by Fowler, and he's gonna go! Touchdown, Commanders!
If you've been a fan as long as I've been a fan, you already know that we don't be seeing pick 6s from our men, you know what I'm saying, all the time. Like, shit, hell, I don't know when the last time was before the Dante Fowler jump. Man, we couldn't do no wrong. And then the next game came, and it was against the Bears. You know what I'm saying? It was a nice home jump or whatever. I remember that like it was yesterday, man. I was coming back from Hampton homecoming, you know what I'm saying? Partying like I just had lost my voice and all that, you know what I'm saying? But seeing that game, man, I mean, it was kind of close, you know what I'm saying? But it was no doubt in my mind that we was gonna win that joint. And then I was able to see one of the best plays, in my opinion, one of the best plays in football history.
So here you go.
He's gotten hit throughout the rest of the game, and it's hurting more now.
Comes down to one last play. And it's gonna be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle! It's Noah Brown! Oh my goodness!
ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I mean, I had tears in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Right after that jump happened. Like, that's when I knew this team was different. Unfortunately, we started coming back down to earth, losing a couple of games in a row. And then we started winning games that we usually would lose any other year. I mean, we was winning games on the last drive like it was nothing. I mean, unheard of, you know what I'm saying? The world was starting to see just how special 5 was. On top of that, we added Marshawn Lattimore to the mix. You know, he had came from the Saints, you know what I'm saying? That had all the fan sites, because we already know what he could do. And like, when we seen that, at that point, it is like, oh, like, we try and win. We try and make a run. We try and do something, for real. Plus, we've been needing secondary help for the longest. You know what I'm saying? We had, you know, Jai invested into Manny Forbes, but that really didn't work out like that. But unfortunately, I mean, Lattimore ain't played like that off the break. You know what I'm saying? He had a bad hammy that he was coming in with. But one thing I forgot to mention, like, with Cliff Kingsbury, man, and JD5, I mean, with them together, you know what I'm saying? Like going forward on 4th down wasn't even a thought. Like, we was going forward on 4th down, and like, we was getting that jump, like something crazy, like 83% of the time or something. Like, it was wild, bro. Like 4th and 4, 4th and 5, 4th and 6, whatever it is. Like, if it's like, whatever it is, we was going forward and we was getting it. And myself and probably every other fan was very confident that we was gonna get it too. But before I move on, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell for more content just like this. All right, so we get into the playoffs as a 6th seed. You know, I knew we was gonna make the playoffs towards the end of the season and whatnot, but you know, it's always drama, of course, in the league surrounded by the playoff team, so that was going on, but you know, we made it. Mind you, we ain't win our division, so of course we had to play Tampa Bay again. It seems like we always playing them dudes. I mean, I felt like we was like really on some get back anyway, so I kind of was, our job was glad we was seeing them, for real. Marshawn ain't played like, you know, towards the end of the season like that. Like, he played a couple games and one game he didn't play or something crazy. But this joint, he was ready to go. And plus we got 5, so like, what could go wrong? I mean, yeah, we playing in Tampa Bay, but we got this. Man, could I've been like so wrong, you know what I'm saying? That was a serious game, man. But we hung in there, you know what I'm saying? Until at the end of the game, 5 got us that 1st down that we really needed. So all we had to do was get the field goal to win the game.
To do it with Gonzalez. From 37 to send Washington to the final 8. The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They twink their way to the divisional round!
It was just funny too with all the kickers that we had throughout the season, you know what I'm saying? But once we got Zane, I was telling my men, like, man, hey, Slim stance be blowing me. I hate the way he stand before he kicked that jump. But fortunately for us, he made that joint, even though it was he doinked that joint in there like y'all just seen. But he made that jump, we won the game. Now it's time to move on to the next round. And we got the #1 seed waiting on us, which was the Lions, you know what I'm saying? And since they was the #1 seed and we were the 6th seed, you know, America had them dogging us. I want to say that we was like 11-point dogs or something, you know, in that game. Something crazy. And this was another jump that was on the road, you know what I'm saying? We had to go up there and handle business, you know? But like, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. Like, going into this jump, I mean, looking at the success of the team up to this point, and then going back in history and looking to see what we've done against the Lions, I was like, dog, we just had success against them. As a matter of fact, when I was looking it up, I think we had been like overall in the playoffs, like, I think we had been like 3-0 against the Lions or something. And I seen how they was, and I was like, dog, they not all that, you know? It's a good chance. It's a chance. It's a chance that we can beat these dudes. So I was fairly confident, you know, going into this jump. And then kind of like was a cherry on top, you know what I'm saying, the week leading up to the game, it was some podcast or radio host in Detroit who Jai like wished some blue tent activity on Jaden Daniels. You know, if you don't know what the blue tent is, you know what I'm saying, maybe you should watch more football, but for those of y'all watching out there who really don't know what a blue tent is, you know, you go up in the blue tent, if some kind of injury happened on the field. So, you know, my man Jai, you know, he wishing injury on JD5. You know, just some good old bulletin board material that you need to hear to get you pumped up, you know, for the game. And what a time it was to play our most perfect game, you know what I mean, for the entire season. Like, man, Five did all the right things. He made all the right reads. Little Mikey was doing his thing. Quan Martin had the pick 6. Hell, man, even B-Rob showed up to play. Man, the offense was just looking good in general. You know what I'm saying? The whole team was just looking like that. And we ended up winning that jump. And now it's time to move on to the Big Bag Eagles. You know what I'm saying? This is another joint, another game that was on the road. We had already seen these dudes twice, being that they, you know, in the NFC East or whatever. This is another team that in the NFC they was regarded as like, shit, not just the NFC actually, probably in the entire league, regarded as like one of the best teams out there. You know what I'm saying? So definitely knew that we had our work cut out for us. It's funny because we're like, you know, when I was a youngin' and I was in the elementary school, I used to be an Eagles fan because you know how that be. You know what I'm saying? You know, all the cool dudes at school was Eagle fans. So, you know, I just followed suit because, you know, I'm trying to be part of the in crowd. I mean, there was a reason for people to be fans of the Eagles at that time. I mean, their offense was like that, the defense was like that. I mean, so many Bammers to name on both sides of the ball. Like, they just had a mob just all together. Once I got into high school, like, you know, my pop sat me down, you know what I'm saying? He hollered at me. I guess he probably was like, all right, it's cool and all that, you know, what you doing while, you know, you elementary, middle school, but he like, man, come on, bro. Like, you gotta rock with the home team, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't keep rooting for these Bammers. Like, that's unheard of. Man, that's all I need to hear, bro. And like for the next 29, 30 years, I've been a fan ever since. You know, even though my team had beat the Eagles the last time we seen them, I'm not gonna lie, man, I wasn't that confident going into this game like I was with the Lions. You know, everybody seen what the Eagles could do, you know what I'm saying? And they had some folks banged up and all that, you know what I mean? But their team is like that, you know, and I was kind of blown because the same kind of thing like I was talking about with the Lions, with the bulletin board material and all that, you know, the Philly tried to flip it on us and said we gave him some bulletin board material. Cause I think our D coordinator, he came out, and I think he just said something like,
he's going to run the ball, and if the coordinator makes a decision for him to run the ball, we're going to treat him like a running back, and we're going to hit him that way, you know. So that's their decision if they want to get him hit the way that he gets hit. If they don't, they'll keep him in the pocket. So, but that's what we're going to do.
I think that is nothing, you know. But I guess it was something like that being said out loud. You know, you would take anything as like a motivation or whatever, and that's what the Eagles did. But I don't even know if they needed that to get them pumped up to play the game, because, man, I mean, they showed my team and the world, you know what I'm saying, why they are regarded as one of the best, you know. But that JD5, the Scary Terry connection, I mean, that jump was still clicking as usual. I tell you what, man, 5 definitely wasn't the reason why we lost. I mean, he just put up some numbers, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you missed the game, you can, you know, catch that jump on the playback or whatever. But, you know, the Eagles ended up winning that jump, you know what I'm saying? And they moved on to the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, that had brought the season to an end for us. I mean, like I said in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? My team exceeded my expectations. I'm sure the other fans exceeded their expectations as well, because, like, you know, like I said, it was supposed to be, this season, the framework around it was supposed to be like a year of rebuilding, you know? So nobody like really expected it to happen. I mean, I think even before the season began, I think I might have said at the most we probably win like 9 games or something, you know what I'm saying, at the most. Like, dog, we was like 12, I think, what was it, 12-5 or something at the end of the regular season? It's crazy. I mean, hopefully this just wasn't a fluke job, you know what I'm saying, and we can get back season after season, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of promise with my team right now. Now that the season is over, you start to hear about a lot of movement, potential movement around the league, you know what I'm saying, who's going where, and, you know, since my Commanders was Ja doing their thing, you know, we happen to be like a hot spot where folks want to come to. And at least that's what everybody is saying and whatnot. And bro, we haven't had that feeling, that talk. We haven't heard that in a long time, man. We ain't felt that way in a long time, bro. It's all kind of names out there. They talk, I think Max Crosby, Khalil Mack, Garrett Wilson, Debo Samuels, who else they talking about, bro? T. Higgins, and there's others out there that they talking about. I mean, they got reason to talk because, I mean, we got like 87, 88 million in cap space. So we got the bread to spend. And not to mention, we got like 7 or 8 draft picks. So the future is definitely looking bright. It's definitely looking good. Finally have a front office that I can believe in. So I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm excited about the road ahead.